All right, I want to welcome you to our live instructional webinar designed to support the school annual yearbook program. Today we'll be focusing on the functions that relate to building activity or candid pages. Specifically, we will be reviewing page bleeds, margins, toolbar, design functions, templates, click and go templates, custom templates, and themes. This webinar will be approximately 40 to 50 minutes, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's first talk about bleeds and margins, kind of explain some of that real quick. So right here we have our pages kind of split up right here. Everything, so real quick, everything in the green area, that will be the area that is good to go. That's the safe area for any images that are on your page to be brought over and to be safely put on your page and safely to be put anywhere inside this green area. This orange area is something you got to use a little bit of caution. So if we put that picture right there, um, so anything in this orange area, there's a chance that it might be just enough to be encroaching on the trim line. And we'll talk about the trim line here real quick. So real quick, I want to grab all that and I'm going to move all that stuff over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's talk about this section right up here. So right here where this red line is, that right there is the trim line. Right here you will see cautions all bleed, elements must extend one pocket from the red. So what this area right here is your bleed line. So anything right here will run a chance of being trimmed. There's about a 1/8 inch plus or minus trim line. That's why when we show you later the importance of making sure your background go all the way over to the edge right here. If not, uh, what will happen is you may have a piece of paper where it looks like the printing may be off a little bit, like it just missed the edges of the pages. So that way, that's the reason why we want to make sure, like I said, in backgrounds, we'll explain a little bit more about this, but why we want to make sure that backgrounds and stuff like that are all the way over to this area right here. But we also want to make sure that images kind of stay away from that area. So we'll grab an image, grab this image right here. So we'll grab that image there. We'll grab this image right here. The reason why we want to be careful with this area right here is we start putting images too close. Everyone starts running into the trim line. So that, and to take a better look at that, we're going to come over here to page preview. Yes, we want to save that. Now here we are in page preview. We're going to zoom in a little bit. Right here, this dotted black and white line all the way right here and down, that's your trim line. Now, remember I said there was about a 1/8 inch plus or minus. So chances are more of this image of this student in the background will get trimmed. Uh, Plus or minus of this student right here on the top and on the sides. So you can get an idea of what exactly is going to be trimmed. So you may need to back the images off a little bit. So you may want to, maybe just drop them down here where the green area is. That way you can make sure that image is going to be safe. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some of these designer basics. Some of the things to kind of navigate around. You probably saw me clicking a bunch of stuff. And so let's go ahead and talk about some of the things on this. screen. So first off, we're going to talk about file. When we click on file, underneath it is the save. So you can actually click file and then save this page. You can also click on this little icon right here. If we move anything, this icon lights up. If we don't, it should be grayed out right here. Next is save as a template. We'll talk about templates here in a bit. Next thing you want to do is view as PDF, or you can click on this little printer icon right here. You can view your pages as a PDF. You can also print those pages out and have them taken to somebody else who may be approving your um, pages. So then you will have like downloads, so you can download the pages. Next is edit. Here you can, the first two are your undo and redo. Right here are your arrows right here. You can undo and redo right there. We have your classic cut, paste, copy. Here we can change the shape of some of these on the fly, or um, that way in case you're coming over here and you have a bunch of these and you don't like the shape, here you can change that shape there on the fly. Also under edit, we do have a spell check right here, or you can hit ABC right here, with a little check mark. Please note that the spell check is not that robust, so it's not going to pick up any misspellings or anything that might be the three different theirs, or it's, or it is, the plural of it's. So also, if you go down to select right here, if you want to select anything, if you want to select like all the images on there, you want to select all the shapes, you want to select all the different colors, whatever you want to select right there, you can. You can also come down here to select and select all, and it will select everything that's on the page. All right, so under view, right here you have hide rules and guidelines. Guidelines are right here in the ruler. So here you can actually grab like a line right here, come over here to the ruler on the side and grab a line right here, and kind of like line things up, line pictures up, bring this over so that way you know how far or the different spacing right there. So the lines right here just kind of help you line things up and guide you into making sure everything lined up really well. So right here, we also have zoom in, zoom out, fit to window. That's also right here, the upper right-hand corner. You can zoom in different to 100, click on that down arrow, then fit to page right there. Now also on view right here, if you have any helpers with you and you may be running into any like save conflict errors, what that means is as soon as I save, I take ownership of this page. So if maybe like you're working on the other page, but I saved, so I have ownership of the page. So anything that you do won't be saved because again, I have ownership of the page. So to prevent any of that, have both students or both helpers, instead of facing pages, click on single page. So then I can work on this page while you are working on this page. And then we will never bother each other. We won't run into any save conflict errors. Here we have arrange. So one of the first things you saw me do was go up to arrange, lock and unlock. So here you can actually lock images into place. That way you can't move them. And you can do other things without worrying about moving a image around or moving it out of place after you just finished, placing it exactly right where you wanted it. So also, if we do this, we select both of those under arrange, we have group. So we can actually group these. And if you ever see anything with a dotted line like this, chances are they are grouped together. And we'll talk about this when we get into click and go. because we have a lot of people who pick a click and go and they don't know what to do with it afterwards, or they don't realize that all those elements are grouped. So we'll talk about more about that here in a minute. Also under arrange, we have aligned here to the center. So we have different alignments. So we can align the center, we can align to the middle. The only thing we do not have is even is a distribute evenly among the with the different objects. So even distribution, we don't have that one. We have been asking for it for a while, but we just don't have it. So here we have range. We can send to back, send to front. So if you have an image right here, um, and it's overlapping this one that you don't want it to, you can actually click on this, come up to arrange, and then you can do bring to front, and it just brings that into a front. Um, think of this as you're laying everything down. It's kind of like a cake. It's you're building up layers. So just understand that maybe this is on a different layer than this one. So here we have transform, so we can flip this image around. We can flip it, rotate it left, so we can do whatever we need to do with this image that we want. And then, like I said, here's your undo, redo, your print preview, your save. And then right here is your virtual book. When you click that, here you can actually view your book, what looks like a regular book, but you can view it as a virtual and kind of go through and kind of get an idea of what it's kind of going to look like. All right, so next let's talk about templates. So let's go over here to a fresh page. So here real quick, let's talk about these. So page right here. So if you click on page, you can actually scroll through your book right here. It beats going to plan, page ladder, um, then clicking on the page that you need, then going from it. You can just go through here, click on the page you want, and you're automatically on that page, ready to go. Next is designs. Here, we'll actually talk about that here in a minute. So here is images. Right here is where you will find all your images under activity. You can actually click on the arrow right here next to portrait and see what your portraits are right here. All right. Next is art. Art, you will have your image frames. Now you can drag one of these over and set up a page. Like if you're setting up a template, you can make your own template using these and all that. Um, but also, if you bring over an image and you say, well, I don't want to use that image, I want to use a different image, when you delete that, then it leaves a image frame behind. So you can set up a page using image frames if you're using this page as on multiple pages. So you can do it that way, or you can just drag and drop images on there because it will already create an image frame for you. So next we have clip art right here. So we have either by category, cover, theme. So if your theme for this year is, exploring. So here are different clip art and backgrounds and anything that has to do with exploring or whatever. Um, here you can just click and hold and drag a piece of clip art right there and just do whatever you need to do with it right there. So right here we have different shapes. So you can bring in that shape right here. When you have this shape selected, right here you have different colors. So we can make this give this shape a different color. We can do like a different background, select the shape stroke right here to the right, come up down here and we can change that, change the thickness of that so it kind of looks different. Um, we can round the edges just a little bit, provide a different tint, kind of make it a little more transparent. So we could do different things with that box right there, just kind of add like a little accent piece to your pages or whatever. So next right here, we do have backgrounds. These are our generic backgrounds that can be used. We'll talk about more about these here in a bit. Text right here. Here are some of the text boxes that will should be there by default. So if you want a headline, you can click and hold the headline, drag it over to the page, and then set it anywhere you want. And then you can always make that box a little bit bigger. And then you can always, when you click on it again, and then you can always type inside that text box from there. And then the last one, we always talked about flow and history in the previous webinar here. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about templates. So if you don't want to spend the time to um, design up the page or whatever, so you want at least maybe a template to just do it for you, or maybe you want somewhere to start from, a foundation to start from. So we're going to go over here to design, and then we're going to click this little arrow right here, and then we're going to see something like page surfer, click and go, advertising, portraits. So we're going to click on page surfer right here. Here we have candid, clubs and organizations, gallery. So we're going to click on candids, and then we have the double page spread for some of these. You don't have to take both of them. You could take one or the other. But to apply it to your page, just click and hold, drag it onto your page, and then you'll get this little pop-up that asks if you want to retain existing content. Now, let's talk about that here real quick. Let me go grab an image. I'm just going to put that image there. Then I'm going to grab an activity, and I'm just going to grab that image right there. Come back over here. Now, I'm going to click and hold this template over here, and we get this little message. Do you want to retain existing content? What it's asking is, do I want to keep what I currently have on the page in this new template? Now, if I do yes, it's going to keep that on there. Now, here, it may not like portraits. Not very good. Here we go. The spot to pay attention to here is the start and stop. So this is your start page and stop page. So this. All right, that's a lot better. And then let's go ahead and save. So now we put it on there. We're going to say yes to this one. So what, as you can see right here, is it took that image that was already on the page and it put it in a photo frame. So it just put it inside the template for you. So we're going to click and hold, and we're going to drag this over here. This time we're going to say no. So it deleted the image that was currently on there, because when we click no, what it's doing is it's putting the template on there in it, deleting everything that's on there in favor of the brand new blank template. So that's why, so that's the difference between the yes and the no. So if you say yes, you want to keep everything that's on there, and in favor of including images and backgrounds too. When you click no, everything, including backgrounds, goes away. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about another one called click and go right here. So here we have, and that's a good one right there. So let's move that over. So here we have a click and go right here. So click and goes are just small little pieces. Instead of like a whole entire page of a template, you can grab little things like this, and then just grab like a little section right there. You can go over to click go headlines right here, and you can bring this over right here. So you could do like little sections of little clip art, little template stuff right here through these click and goes. To use these click and goes, you can actually click on one right here. You will see that it's a dotted line all the way around here. This means it's grouped. So remember, anything with a dotted line, it's grouped. So when we click on this, we're going to come up here to arrange and ungroup. And then here, everything with this solid line was used in this. So all you do is click off of it. And then now you can click on like this text area right here and actually start writing your text. Excuse me a minute. So now you can click on anything right here and start using it. If you're done, you can click and hold and drag. This is a drag and select. Drag everything and select everything right here. And then you can actually come up and either go to arrange and group or come over here and click on group and then group these back together. So also, if say you made this, let's say you made something like this and you want to save this as a template. So you can actually select all this area right here, select everything piece right here, come over here to File, Save as a Click and Go, give it a name, and then click on Save. So this is now saved as a Click and Go. So we can go to Design, go over to Custom, My Click and Go, and then right here it's your little Click and Go that you just saved. So we'll actually let's go ahead and get rid of that. So right here you can just click and just drag that on there, just like this. You can click and drag that on there as well. So if you save this, so if you did make a template or make something on your page and you want to use it on several different pages as well. So let's go over here and let's put this on here. So let's say we made something like this. We want to use it on several other pages. Same thing. The only difference is when we go to File, we're just going to click on Save as a Template. And then we have different options. We can do left page, right page, or both pages. I would suggest doing both pages first and then saving. Then coming back up and then do save as template and either do left and right. So save one as a left page, one as a right page, just in case you're going on and then you find out that you have like an odd page. So then you can always put one down on that left page. And then that will be under file, excuse me, that will be under design, and then under custom, and then my templates. So here's where you would find all the templates that you saved. And then you can, like I said, you can just click and hold, drag one over. So yeah, so you can just drop everything on there as a template. All right, so now let's go and talk about backgrounds. So let's go over here. Let's actually just delete everything off here. And let's talk about backgrounds. So there's two different ways to do backgrounds. You can go up to Edit, Change Background, and bring up this little screen right here. Or you can just right click and then click on Change Background and it brings up the same screen. Now under Art, we do have backgrounds right here. We have the default ones right here. And so, and let's go over here just because they're playing in the four countries golf, hockey tournament. So let's go ahead and let's select this one right here. And let's go ahead and select this one right here. So these right here, you can actually click and hold and drag them over to the page, just let go, and they're automatically placed in as background. Now these are the default ones right here. These are ours right here. So these are the only ones that can actually do that. So you can click and hold and drop that one in there. and they will be placed automatically as backgrounds. So to remove these, we're going to go over here and we're going to show you how to actually place an actual background. So we're going to make sure that either left or right page is selected. So one is you can actually select a solid color, so background color right here. So you can scroll down and say, well, I like that color right there and keep it like that. You can select right page because we want to do the other page. Go to choose image. So if you have backgrounds that you want to use, you can bring those into your image library. And then like under your activity, you could just make a folder called backgrounds. Make sure they're 8.5 by 11 to be used. Or you could go through our clip art right here, either by a category, by color, by theme, or by cover, by theme. So if your cover was our journey, so here's all the backgrounds right here for that particular cover. Anything in red right here that has a red background cannot be used as a background. So be careful when you're bringing your own in. If you see it, it's red. Chances are it's not 11, 8.5 by 11 or not sized correctly. Sometimes, yes, clip art can be used as a background because it meets the height or width. It meets the requirements to be used. So you can actually click on that, click on select. Now you'll see that this top part is a little cut off right here. So you can come over to like either flip or rotate. You can click on those. Come over here to crop, click on crop, and you can actually lower that in here. Let me go back. Here we go. So, like I said, this clip art is at least wide enough and tall enough to be used. So you can actually lower that down, click to the side, and then there you go. That is used. That's perfectly placed on the page there, and it can be used as a background. Also, you can do the tint. So if you feel that just a little bit, like especially right here, if you feel like it's just a little too much, you can back that down just a little bit. In choosing your background, please be mindful also of your text. So if you have text right here and you have it small enough, it may be hard to read with certain colors. So you may need to go back and like look for a color that maybe isn't so bright that you can't read what's on there, or maybe it uh, might not look visually appealing. Trying to read it with that bright of a color. All right. So next we're going to talk about formatting. So we're going to talk about some different formatting tools that you can use. So here, let's talk about the photos first. So after clicking on the photos right here, we see a little toolbar right here. We can add a stroke style, so it just adds a border to it. With the photos, about 4 to 5 point is perfect. Any more than that, I think it's a little too much, and all that. So, like I said, about 4 to 5 would be about good enough for a frame around a photo. Also, when you click on this, you can change the color. We can go over here to color, and then we can also pick a different color. We want to kind of help make that photo kind of stand out a little bit more. So we're going to pick appropriate color to make sure that it stands out a little bit. Also, we have right here format and effects. So we can round those corners off right here. We can make it a little bit transparent or the tint. Um, really, you don't have to touch it. Really, just rounding the corners, and really about 15, 20 is probably about good. There is a one right here. It's called Drop Shadows and Glow. So what you can do is you can add a drop shadow. So we're going to change that distance a little bit. I'm going to make it all the way to the max so that way you can kind of see it. It's a little more visible. And then I'm going to actually, here, let's zoom in just a little bit more. Here we go. So where you can see it. All right, and then also you can change the color. So if we want to maybe a color that was already used on the page, you can select a different color, or you could just, we're going to keep it black because that way we can see it. Here we can change the degree, which means we can change which way, kind of like the sun is shining or where the light is coming from. So we can do that. The occupancy, that will change just how dark it is versus how light it is. Usually about 60 is a good point right there. The blur will just send just how much of it blurs out. Usually about 12 is about good enough right there. All right. Then also on this, you can do a glow. The only difference is it's just uh, the quality. We'll just move that all the way up, and then you can move that right there. We can change this. Let's see. Let's change it to like a yellow color right there, and it just adds like a little glow. If you do it right, you can almost add like a almost like a neon color to it. So if you want, you can almost change that to red. You can almost do like a little bit of a like a neon look to it if you choose the right background and right coloring right here. The other thing we have right here is called the Snap Edit tool. Here you can change the image into like a black and white image. You can change it to like an old timey image. Overlay works. Overlay and colorize work best with clip art, and I can show you that here in a minute. But also we have the brightness right here, so you can make that a little bit brighter. Maybe change the contrast a little bit, kind of maybe tweak this image just a little bit, make it look a little bit better. And then when you hit save, what this will do is it will save the image as a copy, and it will never save over the original image. That way, in case you don't like it, you can always pull the original image over. Also, we have over here this tab called Mask. So if we did eraser right here under Mask, we did, let's go transparent. And let's beef up the brush size just a little bit. So here we can actually get rid of the background right here. And then we go to save. And then right there, it will actually remove that part. And actually, you can actually see that the shadow or the glow right here is actually staying along the edges right here. We can actually remove the, yep, we can actually remove the border right here, and you can actually see the glow right there is actually staying put. So if we go back to Snap Edit right here, come over to Mask, Erase right there, and then we can actually erase that mask right there. So we can do that. There is another option under Transparent, and it's black and white. So if we did that, and then we brought this, oh, got to select Erase. We did that right there, and let's just take a minute. All right, let's take a minute and just do with this right here. You can actually do, I kind of like this. I thought it was kind of neat. So there we go. And then we can actually do erase. We can come over here. And if we go, then if we save this, so what we could do is we can actually put the background as a black and white image, and then keep the selected person or the one we want to highlight. It's keep that person in color, and it just provides a different look, just a nice little look there. Okay, so let's go over here to the shapes right here. So right here, again, you can put a stroke style around here and change the coloring. Bring that up. Uh, bring this shape inside, and then you can kind of make a little like a little frame around this image right here, and you can come over here to your images and kind of drop an image right there into this, and then of course. Uh, if you double click on an image, you can always access the cropping and just shift the image right there. Or if you can make it just a little bit bigger and feature just the students that you want to feature in that image, right? So over here on text, so we can select this text right here. We can change the font by simply clicking the down arrow, or if there's a red X, that means there's more typed than what the text box can support. So we just have to make this text box a little bit bigger. Then also we can change the font size, the font coloring. We can also change the text stroke. So we can actually add a stroke around these letters if we want to. Shape fill, we can actually add a background to that shape. And then shape stroke. So there we go. We can add a little line around that. And then add of course, we can expand it a little bit more right there. Alignment here, we can actually center that a little bit more, so that way that text is right there in the middle. There is a format and effect, so here we can actually make that a little more transparent. We can add a little bit of a drop shadow right here. So let's keep it right there, and let's make it a little more right there and blur it out just a little bit. We can also change that color. Let's change that color to, let's change it over here to red a little bit. Like I said, we can also do the glow right there. And if you ever want to take this away, all you have to do is just click off and it will shut that off as well. All right, just making sure we have everything right here. Looks like we're good with the formatting. Now, we want to talk about real quick the history tab. Um, so if you click on history right here, this very last thing right here, this will show you that everything that was done today, everything that was done yesterday, last week, um, well, this week, last week, and then right here you will have older version. This will show you everything that's ever been done to this page. Anytime something's been saved to this page, um, it will be right here. So if I wanted to, I can come back all the way to this page right here, click on that, click on this down arrow and select the other page, come down and say, oh, yep, I want that back on there, and then we can have that back on there. So that's basically what history does, is allows you to pull uh, from previous saves over, so that way if you make a mistake or you don't like what was done, you want to go start over again, you can do that and just pull over and start over again. All right, so at this time, if you have any questions, you can either type your questions in chat, or you can take yourself off mute and ask your question. All right. So, read this here real quick. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. These demonstrations and the functions related to the creation of the activity pages may help when it comes time to build your yearbook. Using these templates already in the program and building your own templates should save time and give the book continuity. Feel free to join us next time for the final steps of the yearbook building process. I thank you all very much for joining, and I will see you around. Thank you.